God bless the flag, we all beating our chest. When it's peace, it's the same old game, the same old players, same old names. Right. My skin is my sin. My skin is my sin.
What's good, fam? How's everybody doing? What's up? This Jobs, in case you didn't know. And I think AJ calling up today. I'm not sure. And it's tough because if you don't know, basically I accepted a new job. It's a good look, really close to the house. So none of that driving an hour to get to work type of deal. However, put a crimping in the scheduling of the show. Because I can get every Thursday off, but I can't get every Tuesday and Thursday off. And the hours conflict with the show time. So we're going to, still do every Thursday like usual. And what we're going to do is just hit y'all with shows like today. So this will be the first. And hopefully, it doesn't inconvenience y'all too much. And we can have some fun along the way. With that being said, I want to let y'all know, in case you don't, you tune in to My Skin is My Sin on Blog Talk Radio. From goons to guys, we welcome everyone. And we only have one request, and that's to be respectful. I don't think we ask it much. And quite honestly, most people abide by that with no issues at all, and actually appreciate it. So salute to y'all for rolling with us like that. And let's see. If you haven't checked the show out, basically the first 15 minutes or so, just randomness. Sometimes we take a call, sometimes we play a little music, sometimes we just chop it up about our days. But we do have a caller here, 2492. I think I'm going to go ahead and start it off with them, and we haven't even broached the topic yet. So before we get to them, just in case they want to chop it up about hypocrisy, that's what we're talking about tonight. And it doesn't have to be, there is no single lane for hypocrisy, no single race, religion, creed, or whatever, And I will say before I take this call, personally, and this is just my 2 cents, I think everybody is a hypocrite, just in varying degrees. That's just kind of how I approach things. So I'm gonna get to 2492 right quick, and I don't know. We'll see what's up. What's good, fam?
What's good, baby?
Not much, man. Just chilling.
What's up? What's wrong, man?
Oh, what's up with you, man? How's life?
Man, I can't complain, man. I can't complain. I'm here, baby.
That helps. A lot of people ain't get to this point.
Absolutely. So, touch on the hypocrisy. I don't know. It's a vast topic, man. But I mean, like I said, there's so many places you could apply. You could apply the word. And I totally agree with you. I think everybody's a hypocrite in some form or fashion. And honestly, it's human nature. You know what I mean? I honestly just think it's human nature. You know what I mean? In some form or fashion. I think that's something that'll never. I think that'd be really extremely hard to change in people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think in certain areas you can change it, but overall, especially like as a parent, like
right.
I could ramble off a million things. Well, okay, I'm exaggerating, but I could ramble off quite a few things that you yourself may do, but tell your kids not to do because you know it's not good for them.
Yeah, that's that do as I say, not as I do. Saying that's where that comes from.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
I think I posted about that. Like I smoke cigarettes. Shouldn't. It's horrible. But I send my daughter to the store to get some cigarettes.
Right. But you don't eat pork either, right? You want to know?
Oh no, I eat pork. I
okay. Right.
Up. I will. I'm gonna keep it a stack. I would demolish bacon.
I feel you. Yeah, but I had a story I want to share today. You speaking on this hypocrisy thing, and
right.
I don't know if you know hypocrisy. I'm an avid health enthusiast. So I go to the gym every day, 5-6 days a week. You know what I mean? I'm in the gym this morning. I'm a high energy dude working out. Outside of the gym, I'm real laid back, but I'm rapping. You know what I mean? I'm a 32-year-old black man. I ain't no little dude. I'm 6'4", 230. You know what I mean? So, you know, I kind of have to deal with the I'm physically intimidated by you. I get that. You know what I'm saying? Just with my presence alone, and especially dealing with white people, bro. I got a beard. I got tats. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know.
You are the angry black man. Before you even say a word.
The prototypical, right? I'm the prototypical angry black dude. You know what I mean?
Yep.
By American standards. I'm in the gym working out. This lady, I've had not necessarily issues with, but we spoke. Lady comes to me. I'm watching her watching me while I'm in the gym working out this morning. Lady comes to me and says, "There's no rapping allowed in this gym." I looked at her. I said, "Really?" I said, I'm trying to process in my head, like, where did you get off thinking you can come approach me out of all people? It's 200 people in this gym. You know what I'm saying? So you don't have an audacity to say this to me. So I questioned. I said, well, where does it say I can't? She says, well, I said it. Well, who are you? You know what I'm saying? Who are you? Well, I'm the operations manager. Well, check this out, operations manager. I like your boss's number. You know what I mean? I like your boss's number, and I basically told her get the fuck out my face. Cause I basically told her them white privilege days of a white person approaching a black man and thinking I'm going to cower down because you white and you whatever you going through. I was like, them days over with, lady. I was like, I need your people's number. I called California on her. I called corporate's office, everything. Lady told me she was going to revoke my gym membership. I can't come back. All of this. I said, yeah, absolutely. Said she got permission to reserve the right to revoke my gym membership that I pay for every month. The audacity, hypocrisy. You dig me?
You must have been bumping some Kendrick Lamar or something. You was in there bumping R.A.
It's mainly pop. It's mainly pop and Nas. So I'll be in them motherfuckers saying, fuck the police and all that shit. But you know what?
Right.
Man, that's what I do. You know what I mean? But you know what? Everybody else don't live my reality either. You know what I mean? So I feel certain ways about that, as in which I should. But just the hypocrisy, man. I'm just real tired. Like, and it's coming to a head with this, like, with this white privilege shit, man. Like, they really. I had to tell this dude last week. I said, you have a problem with white privilege as long as you're still allowed to have the white privilege. You know what I mean? When you don't have the privilege anymore, then it's a problem. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's the fact right there.
That's the ultimate fact. Like, white people will acknowledge that, yeah, it's white privilege, but they don't want to give it up. You know what I mean? So that alone, that's the issue. Like, you get.
Let me ask you this, though. Let me ask you this. Let's say big white dude comes into the gym, gets on and I'm playing devil's advocate because that's kind of what I do. But gets on the treadmill next to you and starts bumping some neo-Nazi KKK shit. You good with that?
He reserved that right.
All right.
He reserved that right. Me personally, it ain't gonna make me no difference because I ain't gonna hear nothing he's saying anyway. You dig me? If he ain't saying it to me, then I ain't got no problem. He got the right to say whatever the hell he want out of his own. He a grown ass man. You know what I mean? And
I would feel some type of way about that. I really would. I'm not gonna lie.
I see him in the parking lot or something. You know what I'm saying? That's
right.
You know what I mean? But
I'd have an issue with that.
Yeah, I mean, me personally, I'm kind of like this. I got an issue with it. But I tell motherfuckers say whatever they want out their mouth to me. You know what I mean? Not to me, but whatever, as long as it don't apply to me, you know what I mean, or my people. You know what I mean? The point, I had a conversation with white dude.
My bad, but that kind of makes me think of something that I was thinking about a little earlier today too. It's like we black folks, from what I see, we get mad at like the Klan, but then we get mad at the motherfucker behind the desk who smiles in our face but denies us that loan or denies us that job. Like, shouldn't I'd rather I'd rather deal with somebody saying I hate you because you black and telling me.
Absolutely, I'd rather deal with the Klansman. I know where he stands.
Right.
I know what he stands. You know what I mean? And I know what he is and what he ain't gonna do.
And on some real shit, like I respect that more so. That at least I don't agree with you. That's some dumb shit ideologically, but at least you being honest.
Right. You can't do nothing but respect honesty, regardless if it's what you want to hear or not, man. You have no choice but to respect it. You know what I mean? Because everybody has an opinion. You know what I mean? Everybody has an opinion. Everybody feels a certain type of way, and everybody has a right to express that. Verbally express that. You know what I mean? You know, however they choose to do so or go about it. Now, physically, that's a different story. You know what I mean?
Right.
Verbally, everybody reserves that right. I think that if people were more honest, you know what I mean, and not trying to be so politically correct, keep up with the trends. Like, I don't be caring, man. Like, my stance is my stance, and I've lost. I don't care about friends on Facebook or whatever, you know what I mean? But I've lost. People deleted me. I give a rat's ass, bro. I'm going to still keep posting all my pro-black shit, you know what I mean? All that. I'm going to still keep doing it, you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, you know, my kids is watching me, you know what I mean? I mentor kids, too, you know what I mean? Like, I got other people that's watching me, you know what I mean, that I have a direct influence on. You know, and that, you know, that's literally the future in my hands.
Well, one thing I will say, you know, I kind of find hypocritical too. I'm all for people teaching, dropping knowledge, posting links, you know, excuse me, feeling good about themselves and their people. I'm 1,000% behind that. What I find, though, is that people use quote-unquote teaching as a cover for shitting on other people. And I think that's hypocritical.
I see what you're saying. That is hypocritical in my opinion as well. I think that, I don't know, man. I think, I know when we talked about this last time with the term conscious, you know, AJ was talking about how conscious is a broad name, you know what I mean? And I think that our community has so many angles, and for our entire community as thinkers, you know what I mean, for people who think outside the box, I think that sometimes the solution is simple, and we overanalyze things sometimes, you know what I mean, and complicate things for ourselves. But
that's a fact.
Yeah, you know what I mean. I think we complicate things for ourselves, you know what I mean, because we overthink everything. You know what I mean? When our solution, our situation is one in a million. You know what I mean? It's not like any other race's situation. You know what I mean? Because everything is structured to be totally against you. Everything's structured to be totally against. But I keep it totally honest with you. I'm fighting a gun charge right now. I got locked up. I got arrested in November of last year. I'm fighting a gun charge right now. I got pulled over with a gun in my car. My gun. Legal gun, legal owner. I got a license to carry the gun in the state in which I reside. Do you know I got pulled over by the police? I might have a lawsuit pending. I can't really get too much into it.
Yeah, I don't want to get too much into it.
Yeah, long story short, I got arrested for having my own gun that I legally own, on top of me having a license to carry the gun. I got arrested for nothing. For being black on a Tuesday night.
Wow.
I'm fighting the gun charge. These people trying to put me away for 2 years, bro, for driving. Having it's literally the equivalent to you driving in your car, you get pulled over, you got a license to drive the car, and they lock you up. The equivalent. There's nothing else to it. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
They're really trying to lock me up for 2 years. They're trying to put me away for 2 years. Well, it's absolutely crazy. It's the hypocrisy. America is the biggest hypocrite on the face of the planet, and that's why every other country hates us. Hate this country. You know what I mean? This is why. You know what I mean? They murder and slaughter hundreds of thousands of people every day, man, and you know they don't ever pay for it. But the times are changing. You know, slowly but surely it's changing because the rest of the world is really getting fed up with the bullshit, the biggest terrorist,
and the bullshit.
Yeah, with the bullshit. The rest of the world is really getting fed up with it. Did y'all ever talk about the UN speaking on reparations, saying that black people need to get a commission together? Y'all ever speak on that?
We've talked about that, no. And actually, I'm kind of glad you brought that up. For those of you who don't know, we got a new show, dropping on Wednesdays, and it's the D Nola Show, and it'll be the same time, 7 to 9, and you got to tune in. She knows her shit. Yeah, one of them.
She was dope. She was dope. I'm definitely gonna tune in on that.
Yeah, so check her out, man. It's actually, I'm sorry, it's the Nola D movement. How I screwed that up, I don't know. I'm sorry, Queen. Don't kill me, because I know you tuned in. Don't kill me. But yeah, y'all got to make sure y'all check that out on Wednesdays. It's 4 to 6 Central and 7 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, that's really dope. And the reason I brought besides the obvious, the reason I brought it up is I think she's gonna talk about the reparations.
Bro, like for as grim as our situation is, I honestly, that's what I tell you. We need to appoint a council. We need to have a black, whatever you want to call it, a council of people that we appoint, leaders that we actually trust. You know what I mean? And right. It makes some stuff happen.
You got to be hard right here.
Yeah, we can't trust nobody. First, you know, you people that's been going on with Brother Polite.
No, I haven't.
So, brother, I'm not sure how familiar you are with Brother Polite, but
I'm familiar with dude. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So, Polite get money. Polite's basically like a financial advisor for like certain countries. You know what I mean? He travels and gives these financial. Like he made a financial plan for the Bahamas to, you know what I mean, in order for them to regroup as a country or whatever. Like he travels and gives financial advice. Yeah, the Bahamas hired him, flew him in, and brought him in. He put together a financial plan for economic growth for the Bahamas.
Okay.
Polite's been traveling now. He's doing books. He's hanging out with Floyd and Kobe. And he took that picture with the Kardashian chicks or whatever. Everybody went crazy. Right. But I've been following Polite for some years now, and his stance never changed on anything that he said. He's actually living proof and showing people how to get it, and he will tell you how to get it. You know what I'm saying? But now some people in the community are turning their back on Polite to say, he was Floyd Mayweather and Kobe Illuminati. You know what I mean? All this crazy stuff, man. Like, how many times are we gonna build up leaders to bring them, to shoot them down? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, yeah, man.
It's the same issue with Malcolm. With Malcolm and Martin, you had niggas who hated Martin. Like, why? Like, even when you don't agree, how can you not respect it? You know what I mean? For anybody going out there for the betterment of your people, you know what I mean? That's going to make a future. That's trying to make a future better for you, your offspring, and their offspring. You know what I mean?
That's a tough one. From what you just said, like the scenario you just laid out about Polite. That's a tough one. And I'm going to tell you why. Because he was fully aware. Like, some people, things catch them off guard.
Right.
You start to make a little money, and your best friend start acting funny. That catches you off guard. Or
Absolutely.
people that aren't necessarily in the spotlight, but happen, like say you go to medical school, become a doctor, you'll notice some things about people in your circle that you would not have anticipated. However, in this case, in Polite's case, like the backlash that you say he's getting, he had to have seen that coming. Like the Kardashians, like I see Floyd Mayweather, I see, you know, who are, but not the Kardashians, bro. That like you have to anticipate the backlash you're gonna get for the Kardashians. Like that's just not a good look, bro.
I mean, it's almost the same thing, you know, with Dr. Umar and the conscious stripper, and Umar and you losing the grant for the school, you know, and all that, man. And I know these dudes gotta make a living too, because they're not getting paid for the work that they putting in. You know what I mean? So you know,
that's not true. That's not true. That Dr. Umar is making a killing.
Umar's getting paid. Yeah,
right.
Umar's getting paid.
Umar's
getting paid. Yeah, but
the hypocrisy in his reaction to that scenario is the problem I have. Like,
I agree.
Here you are. You have elevated yourself to a leader in the community based on certain principles, based on certain philosophies, based on how you say you live your life. Now, I don't care if you knocked off a stripper. I don't give a fuck.
Right.
But you had to anticipate that there was a strong possibility of that going bad, for one. For two, to call her bitches and hoes and demean her publicly, and not only that, encourage others to do the same.
Right.
It's problematic.
Now, I dig that. I didn't like the way that he handled it. You know what I mean? I thought it was a bad look. Still, it don't stop. It don't mean because I'd have knocked her off too, man. You know what I mean? You seen her?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We actually thought we were gonna have her on the show, but I didn't really kind of. And she was a cool sister when I interacted with her. She really was.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just personally didn't want to promote that. Even though I felt strongly, because I have daughters, I feel extremely strongly about his response. What she did, I'm not getting, people are, you giving her a pass. I'm not giving her a pass. But I didn't know her prior to this incident. I had never heard of her. I was fully aware of Dr. Umar.
Right.
He had positioned himself so that we would have a higher standard for him.
Right. Right.
And he acted like a teenager.
That's factual. Because I was disappointed. I was disappointed in him. It was actually a little earlier before Umar's popularity popped off, and Umar got it himself grinding. Umar got it himself, on the circuit grinding and all. But Umar and Sarnetta was real tight. Sarnetta's like one of the only all-black media outlets, you know what I mean, that's big on YouTube.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah, and they had a falling out, and I just hate to see that, man. Like I think that how many times are we gonna let history repeat itself? I honestly think we're some people, we're some of the biggest hypocrites in the world, man. Because it's saddening, man. It's real. It's really, you know what I mean. For people who fight the good fight, man, that's out there grinding, you know what I mean, and trying to wake up people, man. Like it's discouraging, you know what I mean? It can be discouraging, but it's one of the things. It's a lifelong fight. Like it never ends. You know what I mean? It's never going to end until white supremacy's over with. We may not see that day, man. You know what I mean? Around the situation, we may not see that day, but I mean, we can't stop fighting. You know what I mean? Until then, but if it can make it easier for our grandkids,
like you and I, no, it's not going to happen for us.
Right.
And I'm cool. I'm cool with that.
Right.
It just looking at our history in this country and how far we have come in some areas in a really short amount of time.
I'll say this.
So we will get there, and just numerically speaking, like at some point, they're not going to have the numbers.
Right. Absolutely. And
all we got to do is keep having kids and wait it out. I mean, realistically.
Yeah, the world.
I told a white dude that one time before too. And oh man, the look on his grill, man, like the whole face just beet red. I was like, man, I forgot how we got on the conversation, but it was a dude I was actually cool with at the time.
Yeah,
and we would talk about race relations, and I was like, man, I would love to live another 100+ years. And he was like, why? I said, because then you'll be me.
Right. How about that?
Right.
How about that?
And the look on his face was like the biggest light bulb on the planet just went off. Like he just saw his great grandkids at that moment.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't like what he saw.
Right. Because the whole thing is all these white girls doing is getting pregnant by black dudes. So I think what they say is like 2050 the whole country will be black, all brown.
Let me ask you this. Before I take another caller too, and we kind of go all over the place sometimes. If, let's say, 50 years ago, black people had said, you know what, our DNA is the most superior, our melanin, our DNA, however, scientifically, I'm no scientist, but our DNA is the strongest on the planet.
Right.
We can wipe them out through their women.
Oh my gosh, bro. That'd have been, can you imagine that? That'd have been ridiculous. Ridiculous. I don't know. It's happening either way though. Like, I don't know many white, I don't know that many white women, period. But everyone I know like black dudes. You know what I mean? Like, I think that it's and even for the ones who don't, like, they always intrigued. You know what I mean? They're always intrigued because they daddy been telling them no, not to mess with no niggas. You know what I mean? Since they've been born.
That is true. And you know what? And trust me, I'm not promoting nothing or anything like that. But I was what was I watching? Dr. Francis West Krauser. I always screw her last name up. I'm sorry, Queen. But I always screw that up. But I'm watching one of her, I think it was the Donahue, when she was on Donahue, if I'm not mistaken. But basically, she was breaking it down as far as the numbers game and the fear of white people of no longer existing.
Right.
And what I had never heard was anybody say, why don't we accelerate that?
Wow. That is that's true. I think that's why the pressure is, I kind of lost track of what I was about to say. Of the last statement you made when you were saying how far we've come, you know what I mean, in this amount of time. I'll play devil's advocate this time and say what's going on today just shows you just how far back they can take us and ruin all of our progress. You know what I mean? For what's going on. Look at then and look at now. You know what I mean? And just imagine if Trump's president. You know what I mean? What if Trump really become president? You know what I'm saying?
I've been wrestling with that fact lately, man.
I'm
on the fence, to keep it a stack. I think it may be a great thing for black people.
Think so?
I think it may. I mean, it has the potential to really, like, he would be Ronald Reagan on steroids.
Facts.
So I don't know if we would have any choice but to start to unify more so.
You know what? Yeah, that's true. That is true. I never thought about it like that. I think that for everything that's going on in our society right now, just to show you, that's like we feel like we've come a long way, but that white man ain't got no problem reminding you of how far he can bring your ass back. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's a fact.
Like, that's a fact.
But he is also aware that he got limits too.
Right.
Like, what he don't want is some full-fledged, all-out shit.
Right. I never thought about that. Trump,
like especially with social media. Yeah, especially with social media and our ability to communicate so effectively now.
Mhm.
I mean, just look at like they saw this shit coming when with Marcus Garvey. Like what this dude was able to do with a population that couldn't read, that he could not get to within hours' times, generally speaking, and he was still able to galvanize that many people.
Right. If Trump was the spark to unify black people, man, do you understand how crazy that would be?
I mean, if you look at it, man, hate is a really, really great motivator of unification.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You know, let's keep it a stat. You know, people will band together to hate something, and he makes it easy to hate his ass.
Right. Yes.
So, you know, there's a possibility of that. Now, will we struggle a lot more than we have, you know, over in recent memory? Hell yeah.
Right.
Really will. You know.
But you know what?
It all depends on what happens after the storm. Is it a rainbow or is it just a gloomy day?
Right. I think that, man, this country is, like, because, white people hate Trump. You know what I'm saying? Half of them hate him and half of them love him. They either love him or hate him. You know what I'm saying? But you know what? At the end of the day, I know white people. I know white dudes who are like questioning everything they know now because, you know, they might have a couple black homeboys and, you know, they people talking, man. You know, and you can't tell nobody you voted for Donald Trump. You know what I mean?
Hey, before I'm gonna take another caller. I'm not gonna mute you. I'm just gonna bring them into the conversation. But before I say that though, Donald Trump is really highlighting the hypocrisy, and it ain't just in white folks. Because I done heard a lot of brothers talk about the immigration shit in the same fashion.
Wow.
In the same fashion.
It's amazing, man. I don't know, man. I've been working with some African brothers, man. I just got introduced to these African brothers I met a few weeks ago from Ghana, and I'm doing some business with them, you know, on a security tip. And the way these dudes operate, man, they're just unified in everything, man. And unified in everything, and they party every weekend. And I'm just talking to these dudes, and they don't get it. You know what I mean? They're like, man, the first time I came to America and I seen a homeless man, he's like, yo, I cried. He was like, we don't have homeless people where I'm from. He's like, if somebody sleep on the street, we let them sleep at our house. You know what I mean? They hungry, we give them food. You know what I mean? He's like, yo, we don't got none of this that America got. And he was like, it's totally different. And the dude was telling me, he's like, in the next 2 years, you need to go and get your dual citizenship from Ghana. He was like, this country, and this is his exact words. He told me, this country is fucked. You know what I mean? And its run is coming to an end. He's like, you need to get a dual citizenship just in case. He's like, but once you go back home to Africa, he's like, you ain't gonna want to come back. But he's like, you know, you can get a home there for the vacation in the summer or something. You know what I mean? He's like, it's always, he just sold the hell out of Africa to me. On top of all the women I saw, like, I was like, bro, I gotta go to Africa. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, he sold me.
Hey, hold on 1 second, bro. I'm gonna bring 5276 here right quick.
Hello?
What's good, fam?
Hello, man. How you doing, man?
I'm all right, man. This Al?
Yeah.
What's going on, bro?
Nothing much, man. Living, you know. I'm trying to live.
I feel that. How you see?
I see good, man. Everything's all good on this side, you know. Living life.
That's what's up. That's
and
what's
life
up, man.
live. Yo, so
glad to hear that.
Thank you. What's tonight's conversation about? I said it was hypocrisy.
Yep.
Is it in all aspects of in general?
In general, in whatever comes to mind, bro.
To combat what brother was saying about the whole Donald Trump thing, he's very right though, you know, and you know, people could call him, you know, Donald Trump being a bigot and stuff like that, so on and so forth, but it's sad to say that, you know, when Donald Trump does make a point that or does make something that it is valid, you know, it's scary in a way. It's scary in a way because people got to keep in mind, you know, when the whole recession was going on, and a matter of fact, even prior before that, people were talking about how, you know, how Mexicans, is taking all these jobs, You know,
Right.
you could say the Mexicans were taking all the poor people's jobs, the people didn't want to work and stuff like that. And then when people were looking for a job, you know what I'm saying, and then the Mexicans had the jobs, and then I know plenty of areas in New York City where there's Mexicans lined up in like a certain in a certain area in the morning to get construction work.
Mm-hmm.
And then matter of fact, even where I live right now, they're building a new apartment building right down the block, and it's Asians and Mexicans building it.
So let me ask you this then, Zal. Are black folks being hypocritical on that aspect of Trump's argument, so to speak?
Yeah, most definitely. You know what I'm saying? Most definitely. It's that when you say something, it's more so how you say it,
Right.
and also the person who's presenting that particular statement, So, but people got to keep in mind though, we do have a immigration problem that also President Barack Obama himself has been trying to fix. So therefore, this is nothing new that's been plaguing America. Besides the poverty and so on and so forth. We also have immigration problems. We all know, that the border is really no border. People just either run across, crawl across, or find some tunnel, and then next thing you know, they're in the United States, and then they're here working, and getting benefits. Things of that nature. And
you got a point
and mind
there.
you, but mind you, but keep in mind though, are you familiar with the FPL?
F as in Frank?
Yeah, FPL.
No, I never heard of it.
Okay, basically the FPL is the federal poverty line, right?
Okay.
All right. So what they do, they have it each year, right? The South Carolina they do the census, to see how many people live in your
right.
household and things. Okay, right?
I've heard of the federal poverty line. I just never heard of it. The initials like that. So I know what you're talking about.
All right. So basically, right. So with the federal poverty line, right? Each year, they estimate how much a certain group of people is supposed to make up in that household, or
right, or to make like a family of four. If they make $15,000 a year, they below the poverty
or basically, line. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Basically, to maintain a household. I believe in. I'm trying to remember clearly. I believe in 2011, it was like either 15,000. I'm not too sure. Somewhere around there. But if you really do it, anybody can do it. But you can do it on a sheet of paper. Me and you, anybody, a group of 4 people, 5 people, and you calculate how much each person spends either on a Metro card, on gas, how much you contribute to your rent, to your cable bill, and whatever other expenses you have, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm saying all that to say what the brother was saying about the whole the homeless people thing.
And Rome, you still on too, by the way.
Yeah, I'm here.
No.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Keep in mind, right? When we talk about poverty, right? Okay. I could describe poverty, probably being homeless and stuff like that, right? But you ever try to describe poverty to somebody that's in a third world country that's living below their poverty level in their country and see how one lives? Because
our poverty is like privilege to them.
Yeah, exactly. Even though both parties may not have a home and stuff like that, but you got some people who have to walk miles and on top of mountains just to get fresh water, and also you have families who live in one hut. The kids wake up, they go downtown to panhandle each day, either shine shoes or something, to make some type of living.
Right.
But The thing is, though, that's what I'm saying, though. People really got to look at poverty. And you can't really class it under one umbrella because there's different levels of poverty. That's like how there's like different levels of education. There's also different levels of poverty. So I say all that to say this is that you have some people who basically look for the handout, and you got some people that I don't need a handout. I'm gonna do it myself. I'm basically gonna put myself up from my bootstraps, and I'm gonna handle my business to take myself out this condition. But you have some people who become so complacent in the condition that it just like it basically demoralizes them. To a point where like I can't get out of this. This is a trap. I'm trapped by the white man. I'm trapped by the government. No matter what I do, it is no good. So basically, they trap themselves in a system, that basically, they created themselves.
You know what? As a matter of fact, while I got you on the phone too, Zal, I got another scenario I want to drop on y'all, and I'm trying to post it so I can get the exact way I said it. But this was, this morning before I dozed off, I kind of wanted to just post a couple of things about what I thought was, hypocritical. And let me see. This is one right here. We pay $650 easy for a smartphone when we could have actually gotten a free phone. Just wouldn't have been a smartphone. We don't need an iPhone, but we use that phone to put people down buying Jordans because they don't need them.
Oh man, the thing is though,
is that hypocrisy though?
Yeah. No. I think most I see it as this. I see it as hypocrisy / necessity. Do you really need it? You know what I'm saying? Do you really need? A house. With freaking 10 bedrooms and I understand. No. Everybody want to live by their own means, and everybody, have a certain desire how they themselves like to be comfortable. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Now, for me, I'm thinking, this is my opinion, I think it's more so hypocrisy and also necessity. Now, me right now, I have a Galaxy S6, right? They have an X, they have the Galaxy S7 coming out next month. I could easily trade my phone in. I could pay $115, $115, and then I get a new phone, and and another 2-year contract, blah 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 blah. But it's like, my phone works perfectly fine. There's no scratches on it. I have everything I really needed. Okay. It's like, okay, why do I need to upgrade for? It's 6 or 7.
But we do.
It's basically but basically it's the same damn phone, the same design. Probably a little more different software and stuff like that, a little more bigger. But I feel like now we live in this day and age where it's like if you don't have it, you're not in it. You know what I'm saying? It's basically, I feel like today's technology, how kids was back in school days when when a certain person didn't have the latest toy, the latest Jordans and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? It's like now, okay, I gotta have the phone.
It's just we grown.
Yeah, I gotta have the phone. I gotta have a Montclair jacket or a trench coat and this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? If you come to my house, I gotta have cable or whatever, Wi-Fi. You know what I'm saying? And a flat screen. It's like and you gotta have this.
That part doesn't bother me though. Like that part doesn't bother me at all. It's the fact that some of those people, not all of them, and maybe not even the majority of those people, but some of those people, despite doing that, will then turn around and put somebody else down for basically doing the same thing. It's like we ride these waves of what's acceptable to hate on collectively, but most of us kind of doing the same things and either don't acknowledge it or are unaware of that we're doing that.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's the most damaging part when we're doing it but we're unaware of it. That's the most dangerous. Matter of fact, that's the most dangerous aspect of it all. You know, when you're not aware of what you're doing. You know,
that is true.
Yeah, it's just like people who talk down to other people. You know, but to them they're not. It's normal. You know, it's like that's how I talk. You know, but you don't see. You calling me fat and stuff like that is really degrading me. You know, you trying to, what I'm saying, you say, you want me to lose weight, but and you want to motivate me, but the way you're going at it, it's degrading to me.
Right. Your delivery sucks.
Exactly.
Hey Zal, let me get to another call, bro.
Hi, bro.
I'm not hanging up on you, man. I am gonna come back to you, but let me. I see the 7986 been holding on for quite a long time, so I want to make sure I get
to that. Bro.
All right, no doubt, man. And salute to you, man, for calling up, too.
No problem, bro.
No doubt. Oh, and before we get to 7986, I do want to let y'all know y'all tune in to My Skin Is My Sin on Blog Talk Radio. From Goons to Gods, we welcome everybody. And we only have one request, and that's be respectful. Don't forget to check out the groups All Black Everything and My Skin Is My Sin. Please check out the website, myskinismysin.com. And oh boy, with respect to the website, it's give me a couple of weeks, and we got some changes I see coming down. So it's looking good. And before I get to 7986, I want to touch on. I did look up the poverty level that Zal brought up, and as of they say 2014, for 5 people in the household, $27,910 would be considered the poverty level. Like, that's ridiculous. And nobody can exist off of that. That is crazy.
That's crazy.
Right. And speaking of hypocrisy, I'm looking at and I'm sorry, I ramble sometimes. I'll get to you in just a second, 7986. But I'm looking at the tax returns. I think it was Rubio released, and like this dude pays less a percentage in taxes than I do.
Right.
You're a millionaire, but you want to complain about about money being wasted to help me and mine.
Right.
And give me a break. Well, let me get 7986 right quick. What's good, fam?
Greetings, fam. This is Yao Kepler. How's it going?
All right, and yourself, man.
Peace, bro. Peace, family. Peace. I was listening to the thing on hypocrisy, and I don't know if I'm just supposed to share my hypocrisies that I see, or just
go ahead. That would be dope.
One hypocrisy that really, 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 really gets on my nerves. I mean, it is when I see people talk about calling people sellouts and coons. And the reason why it's hypocrisy is how they do it. So, you hear people talk about, white supremacy, all 9 levels of human interaction, and it takes over our world, and this and that, blah, 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 blah. But then they'll have, like I seen a post on Facebook, they have a post that said black cops who don't address police brutality are sellouts and coons. And I was like, black cops who probably weren't doing community patrol in their own neighborhood, probably weren't looking out to see if any crime watch or what's going on, is now going to go and get a job and risk their job for the sake of police brutality. But at the same time, and I posted this today, I think that's going to be my running thing, dope boys and pimps are never called sellouts and coons.
Oh, my God.
Never.
Actually,
never,
I have actually brought that up, bro. I must admit, because I thought the same thing. And I've had
never. I'm like
intelligent people like argue me into the ground about that.
I'm like, wait a minute. You got crackheads, you got dope fiends, but y'all got no love for them? Y'all love the crack dealer more than you love the crackhead? You love the dope dealer more than you love the dope fiend? Oh, well, he made his choice. He made his choice. That's his business. And, you know, he should have made a better choice than become a crackhead or dope fiend. Or she made her choice. But the dude made his choice. I don't care if Reagan came to your house and put the crack in your hand. Don't be telling me that you're entitled to be a predator against our people. You're not entitled to that.
Don't forget that preacher. Don't forget that preacher too, bro. He in the same book.
You know, you're not. It's a predator. But I'm saying that is something you can see. That's something tangible. We don't know what the hell the black cop is gonna do. We don't even know. But we see the dude, the dope boy, what he doing. You see the pimp, what they doing. You see, okay, yeah, that dude's a stick up. He'll stick you up. He'll rob your house. We know for sure.
I've had negative interactions with black police officers, by far the worst. So, man, you know, maybe that skews my vision of them, but you know, their mistakes are life and death. You know, that so they have to be held to a higher standard of accountability, not only to their job and their superiors, but to their community, most importantly. And from my experience, again, they tend to like try to show up. They tap dance for the police. I'm not saying, you know, a simple hey, bro, you know, to your partner could diffuse a whole situation. Oh, let me handle this one. They opt not to do that, from my experience. They get out the car first.
I agree with you. Yeah, I agree. And try to handle the situation. It also depends on what part of the country you're talking about. But what I'm saying like this: you got two twin brothers, grew up in the same house. Right. One says they're gonna become a cop, which they say, I can't remember who said it. They're the watchdog for white supremacy. I heard Khalid say it, but I think Malcolm said it first. I heard Khalid Muhammad say it. Then you got the other twin goes to be a dope boy. And Dr. Amos Wilson said that they're agents of white supremacy. So my thing is, both of them are poor. Both of them under white supremacy. Both of them trying to eat. Both of them are doing things to make money that basically can harm or not in the best interest or doesn't prioritize the best interest of black folks. And one is a sellout and one is not. Come on.
That's a good point.
It don't make sense.
They both sellouts.
They either both sellouts or none of them are sellouts. And this is why I keep telling people, I say they either both sellouts or none of them are sellouts. And
you know what I find interesting?
Few people have said, yes, they're both sellouts. No, I'm sorry. I was just saying, few people have said, they both sellouts.
They're
both sellouts.
You're absolutely right about that. Yeah. What I find most interesting is how people will, like the dude that's selling nicks on the block and literally he's paying his mama gas bill. I empathize with him. I understand that.
Dope and weed is different for me. Are you saying dope or weed? Because I make a distinction.
The dude is like hand to mouth. And I feel that too. I make a distinction too. But either in this particular case, either or. The dude that is like seriously, legitimately busted and has really exhausted every avenue, and this was like quote unquote the last resort. I can understand him more. I've heard people argue for the dude at the top of the food chain. Like he got to feed his family. Like, bruh, he's making $1 million a week. It's no longer about feeding his family.
Right.
You justifying, you know, like I can, you know, when they give the same argument, and that's hypocritical in of itself. They give the same argument for both dudes. You know, at some point you got to realize it's not about feeding your family. You making $1 million a week. It's you enjoy the hustle and the money.
Right.
Exactly. It's the life, and that's where And it's funny that you say that, because when you say about the dude making $1 million, it's nobody, our people have less love for each other and more hate for other. No, put it like this: we engage in hate more than we engage in love for anything, for ourselves, for anybody. Because if you can defend, because how don't you have love for the person who's in a bad situation but takes drugs, as opposed to a person in a bad situation and sell drugs? What's the difference? Two people in a bad situation, two people made choices that's detrimental to their life and their health, and one of them is like, oh, too bad, you should be strong enough not to take drugs. Yeah, I won't be a drug addict, I'll be a drug dealer. What the hell is that? I can't understand. Like it has to be some serious emotional attachment when I hear intelligent people say stuff on some other things, and all of a sudden I'm like, no, not you, bro. You didn't just say that. No. No, bro. No.
It does kind of catch you off guard there. Like I didn't anticipate that one from you. You know, like
exactly. Like, no, really? For real? Nah, man.
Yeah,
come on.
Man. I remember distinctly having a conversation about drug dealers in the parking lot of my old job with somebody I would have never thought would have took the position of it's okay to sell. It's different to sell drugs.
Nah,
you know, but we live with people that sell drugs, so we look at it differently.
That's crazy.
It makes a difference when that some of those profits help pay your car note.
But I don't see them as sellouts. I don't see the police nor the drug dealers sellouts. I see them as people trying to make it. That's my thing. I'm consistent with that. I prefer, you know, that people ain't trying to sell drugs to our people and create, you know, havoc in other people's families. Of course not. I prefer that we had our own community patrol as opposed to the police. We could somehow put some pains together and, you know, take some of that tax refund you talk about and, you know, get something started where people would, you know, especially people that just came home, you know what I mean? Because ain't nobody else going to hire them. You know, people just came home and was like, yo, you owe us, you know what I'm saying? But we'll pay you, but you owe us, you know, and let's hit you up with something, break you off with something, you know, and help keep the community right. But to me,
I gotta be honest with you. Like I this is part of my personal hypocrisy in that, despite your great argument and the fact that you right, you know, when you get down to it, under no circumstances, bro, if I ever gonna, I'm just not gonna put black cops and brothers selling dope on the same wavelength, even though I should. That is one of the aspects of me personally being a hypocrite.
They all parasites to me. From the drug dealer to the supplier with the government, to the dude who's selling it, to the dude who shoot him and he get buried. Well, he ain't got no life insurance. You know what I'm saying? He ain't got no life insurance, and his family got buried. Who pay the funeral home? Who go to the church? They all parasites. It's all a parasitic relationship with all of them. You know what I mean? They all feed off the community. You know what I mean? It's all one system to me. I put them all in the same in the same bubble.
And see, like with me, like people been getting high since they stumbled on a particular plant in the jungle. You know, so I know people gonna get high. My problem is really with the violence. Like, if they had some way that they could settle their disputes or whatever it is without killing each other, I wouldn't really care. Like if I ruled the world, I would let people, you know, drugs would be legal in my book. Like, you're not going to stop those. I'm being practical, and I'm realizing people are going to get high in some way, shape, or form. And
I can agree with you.
I want to bring up the weed thing. Well, let me go back to that, too, because let's not act like a lot of these brothers is not spending a lot more on loud than crackheads spend on crack.
That's a fact.
But we putting down crackheads.
Yeah, I don't know beyond that, but Percocet is real heavy. Like that pharmaceutical and stuff is more popular than the street drugs now. Like what I'm at.
That's true. It's getting there in certain places. Yeah, I heard that too.
That Percocet is terrible, man. It's just as same as heroin. All that oxy, all that stuff.
I'm gonna explain my hypocrisy. If this is hypocrisy, y'all have to tell me. My thing is between dope, heroin, and crack, those things take people's soul. You don't become functional. That's why I make a distinction. You don't become functional. You smoke weed, you pop some pills. Is it the best thing? No. Am I condoning it? No. I don't smoke weed. I don't do anything. I might take some Cavassier or whatever, whatever I'm drinking at the time. But I'm saying those things destroy people's families. It destroys their personality. It destroys. That's the only reason why I make the distinction. Because you're right. People are going to get high wherever, whether it's the peyote or whether it's whatever, they're going to find a way to get high. That's fine. I understand you can't stop that. But once you start creating stuff that makes people like zombie out, nah, man, that's something else. That's not like even ODing. It's like you take one hit and I'm going to fight my mom to get some crack.
But see, my problem with that is that, like, the first couple of people that do it, I understand curiosity kills the cat. Okay, I kind of gloss over that. After
Hello?
Yo.
Hello?
Yo.
I'm here.
So what was that? We lost jobs?
Must be. He was in the middle of speaking.
Right. There you go. He must have got that free phone he was talking about earlier.
Wow. Wow. You really went there. Wow. Wow, you were a breath. You just went in. Wow. Okay. But what he was saying about, the first time, I don't know what his point was.
Sorry about that, fellas. My phone just died on me. Like, Blog Talk just moved me, so sorry about that.
So, let me say this. If it's anybody still smoking crack, kill yourself, man. Like, it's
2016. Bro, there's people still doing heroin. Listen, I used to live in Baltimore. I'm from Brooklyn. I lived in Baltimore in the early 2000s.
Yeah, that's where I'm at now. That's where I'm from too. I live in Baltimore now.
Oh, okay. Okay, now, all right, if I could talk to you straight up, in Baltimore, the fiends, the dope fiends is out there. It's not crack. They still on dope, and they got that dope lean. I never seen the dope lean. People told me, when a dope head, they lean and falls like the Matrix. I was like, come on, y'all. Come on,
really? You could remake Thriller, yo. You could literally remake Thriller in downtown Baltimore, yo.
I saw it for myself. I was over there by Fort McHenry, over by I was like, boy, my man was leaning like Neo. I mean, his head was back and he didn't fall. He tripped. And he almost like levitated. I was like, yo, this is real. People exaggerating. No, that dope does something, man. And this is talking about Baltimore. I'm sorry. Go back to your point about you make a distinct. You said about the weed and the dope, and that. It's the same thing to you.
I'll give you an example. Like one of my dudes, he was telling me, this was last year, like around Christmas time, and he he was making some, I want to say some brownies, some weed brownies, And so him and this girl tried these weed brownies, and he was like, "Dude, I literally was paralyzed."
Yeah.
Come on, man. Like, bro, are you like really, bro? And I'm dying laughing. And he was like dead ass serious. And it wasn't just him. He was like, I looked up, you know, I'm making the brownies. My girl has some. He's like, I looked up and she just knocked out. And he's like, I don't mean just knocked out. Like, she's like comatose. He said, next thing I know, I'm on the floor. And the door, you know, my boy banging on the door, and I can't even reach my phone.
Wow. No, I've eaten brownies before, but not with the new. I ate some Reggie brownies some years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, because Cat Williams say, you know, give me regular weed. You know, Cat Williams have a joke for this new stuff, hydro and all that other stuff. That's some different stuff. But you know, now just saying that, bro, I'm starting to see what you're saying, because that also goes into how people saying weed was okay, and they, you know, having people mess with that K too. I don't know where y'all are.
Yeah,
I've heard of that K too. Oh man, in New York here, oh my gosh, it was like, woo!
Yo, y'all seen the video with the dude who was having a heart attack and he kept smoking it? And he was like, yo, I'm addicted to K too. He was having a heart attack. Yo, it was fucking with his heart. He was about to die.
Wow.
Son, he was in front of the hospital. He got out the hospital and smoked a K2 blunt during the interview and was like, yeah, I'm only high for like 15 minutes. Yo, it does something. It messes with like a heart palpitation, something like that. I forgot how to pronounce it. But it does something where it literally messes with your heart. This dude keeps buying it. And I just seen this a couple weeks ago online. I can't remember where it was at. But this dude, man, he was in New York.
These teenagers, yo, they are.
That's crazy. Hey, and
they are in the hospital.
Dogs in the background, man. These my neighbor's dogs going back to the food next door.
No, I ain't nothing.
Yeah, those the kids out here.
I want to take a quick pause, right? I just want to pause right quick, and I want to say rest in peace. There were three, and let me make sure I got where this happened. Okay, there were three young Muslim brothers who were found executed in Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Wow.
Muhammad, and I apologize for mispronouncing their names if I do so, but one was Muhammad Hirab, age 17. The other was Adam Mekki, age 20. And the other was Muhammad Taha Omar, age 23. And they have no clues, just execution style and murdered.
Wow.
So I want to make sure, you know, I haven't really seen much information about that. Huh?
Rest in peace to them. Now, that's the biggest hypocrisy in the history of man is religion. This is the biggest hypocrisy in the history of man. Religion is the biggest. It got the biggest body count in the history of man. Religion and race. You know what I mean? And bottom line, if you ever meet real Muslims, bro, like they are some of the most peaceful people on earth. You know what I'm saying? Like that live by that book, that subscribe to that's real about everything. Yo, they some of the coolest people on earth. You know what I mean? But the whole religion, everybody's divided. This whole country's divided. So just for instance, like them three brothers was found executed. What's going to end up happening in this country is when it starts a war against Islam, and it's a nice amount of people in this country that follow Islam, and they're starting to be pointed out. Yo, I'm losing track, yo. So I'm just connecting some stuff right now. All right, so we were talking about the Trump thing earlier. Trump is literally, and this is just coming to me. Trump is literally running another campaign like Hitler. It's basically what he's doing, and
he really is.
He's running the same campaign as Hitler. You know, it's all propaganda and bullshit, and these crackers is eating it up because they scared. They basically scared of religion. That's basically the same thing as goddamn Christianity. They cousins. Basically, you know what I mean?
No, it's not just religion.
He's saying, listen, white people, we done had a black man here for 8 years, right?
Right.
We got Steve Harvey hosting every goddamn thing. You got Kevin Hart in every movie. Now, if you think about it, if you was a white person and you in 2000, there's no more black people got Family Feud. They got all the game shows. They got all the game shows.
Yeah.
Let's make a deal.
The fucked up part about it is that like that will be the last straw. That's the last straw for a lot of white people. You know,
real
like,
that's why I said it.
Like, I can deal with the president, but God damn it, Family Feud.
Exactly. That's real talk, family. That's real talk. That's real talk. It's like, oh, wait a minute now. I gotta see the on TV, Family Feud, my show, the Great American Show. Let's make a deal, Wayne Brady. Let's make a deal. That's grandma. That's great grandma's show. You know, so you gotta look at it. You know, all these shows now. You got the greatest shooter is a black man. Oh, game is over. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Steph Curry now, they took that. Like, well, we can't shoot, we can't dunk, but at least we can shoot. Nope, you got that either.
Gotta put that on Smash, bro.
You know what I'm saying? So even that basketball piece.
Like they are an endangered species in the making, and they are aware of that.
Yo, I've never met a white person that ain't like Superman, yo. Like, you know, like every white dude favorite superhero was Superman, yo, because, yo, he's Superman, you know what I'm saying? He's Superman. He can beat everybody. Like, that's like white dudes really be having that American dream in their head. Like, their parents be putting that shit in their head.
Yeah, but again, you got Obama.
They be putting that shit in their head. And they don't prepare them. Like, yeah.
You better with me, it was everything.
Yeah,
I mean,
you got a point.
At the end of the day, you know, when I look at things practically, if I were in their shoes, I probably wouldn't be the nicest motherfucker either. Because I'm thinking, you know what? We can't keep up. We're not gonna be here much longer. And see, the problem with that is that they just shitted on everybody for so many years, for so many centuries, for however many years, that they are aware that when the shoe is on the other foot, it is not going to be a good look.
I got into a debate with this white dude last week, and I asked him, I said, would you blame a mouse for killing a cat if he had an opportunity, knowing that cat was going to kill him? He said, no. I said, well, how can you blame anything? Because basically the conversation was, he tried to basically tell me he was talking about Bernie Sanders getting arrested. And, man, I don't give a fuck about Bernie getting arrested back then. You know what I mean? Like, what did it change now? You know what I mean? And what is it? You know what I mean? I had a social studies teacher in high school who got his ass whooped from walking with Martin Luther King. I don't give a damn about none of that shit because, yo, my shit's still fucked up. I still get harassed by the police, you know what I'm saying, and all that. I appreciate it. You got a little bit more stripes with me, but at the end of the day, man, like I said, they don't want to get a white privilege up. They won't get. They're not comfortable giving that privilege up. They're comfortable enough to acknowledge it, but not comfortable enough to let it go. And they ain't never going to try to let that go. But like you said, they ain't got no choice. It's only a matter of time. With the whole situation.
I think with Bernie's case is that he could not get enough of a consensus. Like Bernie could get elected year after year after year, but he really couldn't make a dent in what was going on in the grand scheme of things because he was basically spitting in the wind. You might want to hear that shit in Congress. You know.
Yeah.
So I would love to see how he would be as a president if he would be able to, what change he would actually make, if any.
They would kill him. Because what he's saying, man, the last president got assassinated. Was it Kennedy?
And let me switch topics really quick. Chris Rock. Did y'all see his monologue?
I made the post. I posted on my page. Yes, I did. I heard it and seen it and posted on my page. And just to be a disclaimer. Chris Rock is one of my favorite comedians. All right, so when I heard the monologue, I guess for me, I'm used to hearing Chris Rock, and I like Paul Mooney too. So they do all that stuff all the time. You know what I mean?
Right.
So for me, I'm accustomed to it.
Why are people so shocked?
I'm accustomed to that. And beside him, my favorite white comedian is, guess who? George Carlin.
Bars.
Yeah.
That dude's got bars.
Right. Say what?
George Carlin, bars. That dude is nice. Like, he's funny.
Yeah, George Carlin. Oh no doubt. George Carlin. Too bad he if he was living longer, he would have loved this day. What's going on? But you know, so I'm accustomed to that. So when people got to realize, Macy Gray, Paul Mooney, Chris Rock, there's a couple of black artists on Real Talk. They only make movies for our people out of donations because our people don't be making them rich.
Right.
Our people did not make Macy Gray rich. She didn't have to pay in no films for no black people. She could have been making her money. White people love her. She good. Paul Mooney wasn't getting love from black people like that. White people go stand. They pay money to hear him talk shit about them. Pay money. Pay good money too. Good money. Not no. He don't be doing no. What do you call it?
You're not going to
chitlin circuit. He don't know chitlin circuit. He don't know chitlin circuit. Paul Mooney. He don't know chitlin circuit. Paul Mooney is not coming to your local stadium. Nah, man. Paul Mooney. So what I'm saying with Chris Rock, I heard it, and for me, I think his monologue really is going to help white people relinquish some of their shit. I'm telling you, they because what happens is it's like he gave them a Mickey, like he slipped them something. You know what I mean? And they laughed at it, ha 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 ha. You know what I'm saying? It's like ha 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 ha, and slipped them a Mickey, and like, oh yeah, it was funny, this and that. They don't go to sleep maybe a week or two. Their conscience gonna be kicking them. Their conscience gonna be kicking them. Like, yo, what the? You know, I just have a change of thought about certain things. Why? I don't know why. I don't know. But that's too complicated for a lot of folks to get. You know what I mean? People didn't want to take it there, so I kept it kind of easy on my page. I was just like, all right, I'm not gonna, get into it like that.
But like if you look back at Facebook, like look at all last year. You got Chris Rock memes quoting quoting a lot of his routines, and they are pro-black always. Now all of a sudden today, people upset with what he said, whether you like it or not. To basically to call him a coon is ridiculous in my book. Like, are you like I don't understand, especially the brothers and sisters that we know have a history of being down for us and being true to who they are and having love for themselves and their community. Okay, they say or do one thing you don't like and you just going to totally demean them.
He did the movie on hair, black hair. He did the movie.
Yeah. Chris Rock always been down though, man.
Right, but and the sad part is, I think a lot of those people that are posting that didn't really get the fact that he has to be funny. That's what he does.
Right.
That's why he's getting a check. That's why he's always got a check, is because he's a comedian. They hired him to be funny. Now, to do that and touch on topics of the times, especially just jump out the gate talking about people boycotting.
And he said straight up and down, Hollywood is still racist. Right. Yo, to me
was genius to me when he said that. I was like, oh shit, this dude done slammed his career. I said, oh shit, he done cut his throat.
It was dope to me.
He said Hollywood is still racist.
Chris Rock's at a point where he can say that though. He's one of the few that has his own production company. He make his own movies. You know what I'm saying? Almost like Ice Cube do. Like Chris Rock do whatever the hell he wants. You know
yeah, but they can touch you out the studio, man. You know, they can always find a way. They can always find a way.
Damn,
they can. So they can. They can always find a way. They can always find a way.
Not only that, you know, having your own studio does not mean that you have your own distributor. And his studio is always contingent on Hollywood distributing his movies.
Always a way. There's always a way. He said they were racist, but he said they were racist in a way like a sorority. Yeah, he said it was like a sorority. He's like, hey, we like you, but you can't join our club. You can't join our sorority. And, and I'm going to say this, and I kind of keep this under wraps, but I'm going to say it here because it's my own little personal thing that I want to put in print, but I'm going to say it here. To me, the greatest comedians are the greatest philosophers of today. If you look at the best comedians, they are like the best philosophers of like ancient times, like because they look at stuff from a perspective and they put it in a way that you can't shake it. It's like, oh damn, you know like think about George Carlin. You know what I mean? He's a philosopher.
I would have to agree.
Eddie Griffin too. Eddie Griffin talked that shit.
Oh yeah, that's true. But he don't get exactly. But see, he got there. And then what's the other dude's name from California? D.L. Hewley. He's another one. D.L. Hewley is another one. And Griffin was there. Yeah, D.L. Hewley.
Hewley, man. He didn't used to be all that funny to me. He has gotten like legendary over the last couple of years. Like, dude, I love his radio show too. But his stand up, man. Wow, like he comes with it.
Y'all heard of this cat called Hannibal Buress? I'm just getting familiar with. I think he worked on Saturday Night Live.
Hannibal. Yeah, I'm getting familiar with Hannibal. Yeah, Hannibal's pretty good. I was like, wow. I heard his name, but he's pretty good. But the better ones are philosophers, man. If you really dig down, like if you listen to, I'm trying to think of somebody else. Because personally, I don't like that. I call that shit coon shit. You know what I mean? I like all that. Like, what's my man's name? With the glasses down south in Georgia. The comedian.
Tyler Perry?
No. The comedian. He got Smiley. Smiley's not all that to me.
Ricky Smiley got a. I don't know, yo. He's funny sometimes.
Yeah, he's not all that to me. People be loving him. I'm like, he's not. He's sometimes he hit or miss.
He does a lot. I don't like. That's just not his style of comedy. But he does a lot. You know, especially I think he's from. I can't remember. I think he's from Alabama. Like he does a lot for his community.
Which is beautiful. I just don't, his style, of comedy, like I said, it doesn't meet the like philosopher thing where like, damn, I'm laughing and I got a jewel dropped on my head and I can laugh and take this jewel with me. You know what I mean?
Once he come out the dress, yo, I ain't laughing no more. You know what I'm saying? Like that's kind of what lost me with Ricky. Yo, any dude who step in the dress, yo, we done. Like I ain't watching nothing else. Like I don't do Tyler Perry movies. I don't do nothing. And Tyler Perry has some good movies, yo. Like for Colored Girls, great movie. You know what I mean? Like he's had Daddy's Little Girls. Daddy's Little Girls is almost like my life story, bro. Like I watch that with my daughters all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like certain movies he's had that was good, but them dress movies, dog, I can't do it, man. Like I can't take you serious. Like you already let me know. Like that's why Chappelle one of my favorite comedians. Martin one of my favorite comedians too.
that brings up another point of hypocrisy, at least in my book, is that the biggest hypocrites spend the least money. I'm sorry, the biggest complainers. Like, people will complain about something. The reason I think about Tyler Perry is because practically the dude has to make money to make those other type of movies that we love.
Bruh,
I don't think people
Tyler
look
Perry
at
is like a linebacker. Tyler Perry like a linebacker in the dress, yo. Like,
but I'm not gonna sit here and act like I wasn't rolling the first time I saw Medea. I laughed my ass off. It is what it is, you know. Call me whatever. I'm wrong, but it's the same movie over and over and over. But the first one I saw was funny. My point is that I'm gonna keep it a stack. But my point is that in the arena that he's in, if you don't make money, you will no longer be in that venue. Period.
True.
He has to do some things that are going to make money to do things that are going to make change. And it's got to be and we clown, especially Tyler Perry, we clown him for the dress shit. And quite honestly, at this point, kind of rightfully so. But I don't think we realize that it may be a sacrifice on his part. Now, granted, dude's made a lot of money, but that dude built his own studio.
Facts.
And
That's
hired
facts.
tons of black people.
Boy,
so that dress put a lot of people on.
It's still a dress. It
is still a dress.
Hey.
I'm just saying, like, you know,
I got a big question.
Somebody got to sacrifice. I'm not saying you got to necessarily wear a dress, but you know, you got to do some things in life. Like, I don't like going to work, but I like turning the lights on.
Right, absolutely. Now I dig it. Y'all seen Cat Williams put Kevin Hart on blast?
I heard. I didn't check. I didn't read it. I heard. I didn't see it. I scrolled and time to get back to it.
Do you know why I believe it though, yo? Because Corey Holcomb, one of my favorite comedians. I follow his show on YouTube, and he talks about this. Yeah, he got a show called 5150 Show on YouTube. It's hilarious. It comes on YouTube every Wednesday morning. They do it Tuesday night. It comes on Wednesday morning on YouTube. It's hilarious.
What's the name again?
5150 Show. Corey Holcomb, 5150 Show.
Corey Holcomb. I heard of Corey Holcomb.
That dude's funny.
He's funny, but Corey Holcomb be putting all them dudes on blast, man, telling them what he be doing in Hollywood, man. That's why he kind of where he at in his career, because he said, I done did plenty of shows they had that dress waiting for me. I ain't doing it. He's like, I walk off the set. You know what I mean? But a lot of them dudes, man, he be putting Jamie Foxx and all them dudes on blast, man, talking about what they be doing, you know what I mean?
But you know what's funny about that? If you notice, like, and I checked this out, these dudes, their comedy, they be going at faggots and gays hard, early. Like, if you look at Kevin Hart's first show, you're like, oh, I want my son to be a faggot. And they were like, oh, the LGBT community must have said, we got to grab this dude now because he just said some stuff, you know. And I guess they convert them and change them and do whatever. But one thing I wanted to ask y'all about hypocrisy is voting. Like, what's the deal with that and voting? Like, is it, you know, we talk about who died for us to vote. We talk about, you know, taxation without representation. That's what I tell people. I said, listen, voting don't do nothing. I said, well, you pay taxes, right? Yeah. So you realize if you pay taxes and choose not to vote, you done volunteered for taxation without representation. You volunteered for it.
That's true. And to your point, now I understand, you know, that the presidency is unique in that they can literally elect the president whether anybody votes or whether everybody votes for one guy. and they can put who they want to put in office. I get people's critique of that. I get people saying I'm not going to vote.
Go ahead, break it down, bro. I know what you're going to say. Break it down.
The problem I have with that is that they rarely distinguish I'm not going to vote for the president. And so what you get is the same visual over and over and over that says don't vote. Then we get district attorneys who will lock us up for stealing the package.
Exactly. Get upset. And then you get people like Ferguson
who will in prison forever for the dumbest shit. You know, so that's my thing with it, is that don't convince people not to vote. You know, whether you voting for the president is symbolic or not, if voting for the president gets our mindset into voting overall, that's a great thing.
The local, your community board, your school board, the judge, the judges are voted. They are voted. They run to get them seats. But for some reason, and I blame the Congressional Black Caucus, and I blame and I'm going to use the word blame, but I'm going to use it here. All of them. You know what I mean? They did not and have not taught us proper political education. I'm working on something now to get us politically right, because I'm in New York City, and Jewish people make up not even close to the amount of population, but they run the school board because they run for the school board. They kids don't even go to the school, and they making decisions for our kids. So they understand the network of power and whatnot, and we're caught up on. There's a lot of people promoting a lot of misinformation, bro, and it's killing us. They promoting a whole lot of nonsensical stuff, like you said. What does voting for your local council member, whatever, has to do with the because then how you gonna get jobs and contracts and all that other stuff? So what they do, we don't hold them accountable, so they do what they want to do. Because if you got a housing project and they all say, listen, you better do this or else, because we understand economics is political and politics is economical. If we don't get that, we don't get nothing. Economics is political and politics is economical. If you ain't bringing no money, you can talk about the Constitution, the way it should be. Yeah, great, whatever. You ain't showing with no money, ain't nobody hearing you.
Factual.
They're not hearing you.
Yeah.
They're not hearing you.
You know, the crazy part is, I mean, like, and I remember I sat down one day last year and I tried to find out, like, how many votes did my local judge get to win? I couldn't find it. I'm pretty sure there's a reason that I couldn't find it, is because the numbers are probably ridiculously small.
Right.
Like, I live in Cleveland right now. You know, I was born and raised in Detroit, but I live in Cleveland right now. So, not even 1 million people in this city. You know, if you figure like 500,000, maybe, I think it's like 300,000. So, and you figure like maybe 25% of people vote, if that, maybe a little more, I don't know. But then you go down to the smaller races, and you realize, you know, I bet you a judge won with 10,000 votes.
Right.
If that, you know, you put a couple of high schools, 3 or 4 high schools together, and that's 10,000 people. And not that all of them can vote, just to give you an idea of how small a number it really would take.
Yeah, man, I hate politics, man. Like I don't hate any. I hate politics, man. Only because it's bullshit, man. Let's go off for what it is. It's bullshit. Like it's bullshit, but then it has such a direct impact on our community. You know what I mean? And last time I voted, I ain't gonna fake. I don't vote. Like, and maybe that's my hypocrisy, and I should be held accountable for that. I stood in line for 4 hours with my at the time 4-year-old daughter, because I wasn't in the mind frame that I am now, and I sat there and I spent for 4 hours because I got the good old speech from my grandparents, and we people died for this. And I stood there and for 4 hours, bro, in line, did my little vote. You know how disappointed I was? You know what I mean? After I never voted again for Obama. My life is fucked up, Democrat or Republican. You know what I'm saying? It's not either way. The black community still fucked up. I ain't voting. You know what I'm saying? And I don't see them white people elected nobody to put them in office, because if they gonna put who they want, and at the end of the day, they did it before.
I mean, but you know what the presidency. You're absolutely right, but you can control your community.
The local, right? You see, I'm a little bit more hands-on in the community now. You know what I mean? And I'm out networking, trying to make connections now, so I can make, you know what I mean? Because my vision pop, you know what I mean? For this mentoring program I'm trying to put together. But so I'm trying to get in touch and meet with local politicians now, because we got a mayoral race in Baltimore coming up now soon. I don't know if y'all seen Shorty, Marilyn Mosby, the DA for the whole Freddie Gray case. Yeah. Her husband's running for mayor. Yeah, her husband's running for mayor.
Yo, in Baltimore, when I was living in Baltimore, man, they said the corruption. I used to listen to, what was it, WWOR? What's that guy's name? I used to be there. Oh, man, I forgot the guy's name. Yeah, and when I was there, they used to, man, talk about the corruption and the payola. I think I'm moving back to Baltimore, to be honest with you, man, because you need some real strong, like, I you know, Baltimore is one of those cities where, like, if they can get a spark, it's like game over, man. It's like game over for everything, man. We get a spark there. There's so much potential. It's like, man, you're looking, you're like, this could be whatever, and then something happen, or, you know, it's like, what the hell?
Yeah, it's crazy because, like, during the riot,
I think I've seen the spark though. Have y'all seen New Era Detroit?
I like them. I like New Era Detroit. I peeked it a little bit from the little bit that I have seen and that I read. I like what they're doing. I like what they're doing.
And they
spreading. Right, they're spreading. And then here in Baltimore, we got a 300 men movement here in Baltimore, where we got brothers who get off work and walk kids home every day from school to make sure they don't get no nonsense. You know what I mean? They just bought a house.
Right, for
all these abandoned houses that's in the city, they got a house. They got a grant, got a house. They run the after school program now. So it's stuff that's coming out of it. But in order for it to really get to, we gotta get with these gangs, man, and call it for what it is. We gotta get with these gangs, and for all these dudes that's in gangs, you do what they want, but you gotta do right by your people first. You know what I'm saying? You gotta do right by your people.
And you know what?
Stop killing.
That's one thing I think. I don't think that we don't look for the positive aspects of the gangs and try to build from that standpoint. And I think that's where it's always stop shooting, stop doing this, and we never say how did you get 1,000 people to join you?
Right. Because what it is, it's kind of like this.
How are you running your organization where you got this much loyalty?
Right. It's kind of like I'm sorry.
Oh, I was actually about to switch the topic totally. Go ahead, bro.
No, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, because it just, things just pop into your head. Another thing that I think is hypocritical is I see a lot of pics every day on the book, and I'll see a woman scantily clad, and this will be an example of a hoe. I'll see basically same woman with RBG colors in the same scantily clad outfit, and she is a goddess.
Oh, yes. Don't, oh, man. RBG, that's the biggest hip-hop, oh, man.
bro. I mean,
I'm just saying, bro. I'm just putting it out there.
Are you good with this show? Because I go in on the RBG piece, and so are you good with your show? Because I go in on the RBG piece, bro, and they may be, you may have some people like hitting you up like, yo, what the hell? Yo, that RB, oh man, that's the biggest hypocrisy. Oh my God. We go back to the cops thing. I said, how a dude can have bodies and be conscious, and the cop is a coon. He ain't got no body. He ain't got no body.
That's the good one.
Right.
Hey, fellas.
Yo.
Let me plug Zal back into the conversation right quick.
Cool.
What's up, Zal?
Yo. What's up, yo? I'm definitely loving the dialogue, man. Your brother was going in. I was. If you see girls playing double dutch and they're like, okay, can I jump? Can I jump? That's how I felt like. I'm like, any minute, I'm muted. Any minute. Yo,
sometimes you gotta remind me, bro. I get the rambling.
Nah, it was all good. It was all good. Nah, yo, what the brother brought up about the whole drug dealer thing. I mean, drug dealers and cops and stuff like that. Yo, it's so crazy because I remember last year, right? I put up a post. I think I was in some other group, right? I asked a question that I kind of worded it different the way the brother presented it. I said, who do you have a problem with more? The drug dealer or the police officer? And it's yo, and then
that's officially swiped.
So hear this, right? Yo, the amount of the type of response I got, right? First, I always wait for a response and then I reply back. You know what I'm saying? With my own feedback. So, the majority went with the police officer, right? Me myself, I went with the drug dealer. And I was like, but thing is, I had to break it down for them. So I was like, okay, now whether a person is selling heavy drugs or light drugs, it's still drug dealing regardless, right? Now, now think about it, right? Now we got some brothers out there, brothers and sisters, who sell niggas and dimes. You know what I'm saying? Little dime packs here and there, whatever, right? Okay, to them, to the regular people, they're not causing no harm, whatever, right? But at the same time, people who do buy drugs for them, sometimes, they don't got nowhere to smoke, so what they end up doing, either smoking up on the roof or smoking up in the staircases. Now, if somebody's smoking in the staircase and I got to come downstairs with my daughter, and my daughter got to, inhale, inhale this, I got to walk downstairs and see blunt wraps and all types of filth, on the floor, from you smoking. You know what I'm saying? And also you got people who do sell the people who do sell the heavy drugs where also destroying their own people in their own community. People walking around like zombies. Just so they themselves just so they themselves can make a living. And make a living just to stay right there where they at in the projects or in their neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? Or right there. Never worrying about elevating their life. They're worrying about reading up.
You know what I think about that one though, man, is that I think, and it just kind of dawned on me, but I think that maybe subconsciously even it's like a drug dealer is going against the system. And a cop is the system. So I think that sometimes we may not even practically be looking at it. It's just subconsciously, it's like, we just under no circumstances can put the system and a brother in the same boat.
True.
But no. True to an extent. But the thing is, though, okay, I remember, I think a brother said to me one time, I probably said, you're my brother. Yeah, you're my brother, of course. But if you're out here doing illegal activity, you're not my brother. point blank, there's a come, no, think about it, right? There comes a time when we have to cut one another off. It's like point. Think about it. No, think about this, right? Even when Harriet Tubman was freeing the slaves, there was some slaves that wasn't with it. She had to go kill them. Matter of fact, she killed her own husband because he wasn't down. You know what I mean? So like, we gotta cut some of our own people off.
I can agree with that. I can agree with that in the sense, and I'll make a distinction between in crime. I make a distinction because what brother said about against the system, I see that. So I make a distinction between a predatory criminal, one who preys on our people, and a criminal who's doing crime, for whatever. And here's a good example. I remember there was dudes who used to go to Macy's, department stores, and steal, right? That was seen as going against the system, as you were just said. A stick-up kid or a stick-up dude is not going against the system. He's preying on our people.
Especially when you're the one getting stuck up.
Yeah, exactly. Both are thieves. Both are thieves. Both are criminal. But the one who's predatory against us, I gotta look at them a little different, or a lot different. You gotta look at them different.
And I think
this brother, he walks up and robs this white guy, and it's a brother right next to him, or in the vicinity or whatever. And he literally tells the brother, "Oh, you ain't got to worry, man. I don't rob black people." Is it wrong that he robbed somebody? Yeah, it is. But yeah, I really have a problem with that. And apparently I'm, on some humanity level, I guess I'm being a hypocrite or whatnot. Oh well, it is what it is. But if you're going to rob people, do it that way, please, because I have been robbed before.
I'm all like I get your whole gist of what you're going, with, against the system and stuff like that, but, like I said it before, this, wrong is wrong, you know what I'm saying? You got, like you said, okay, you could say the cops are in the neighborhood terrorizing the people, right? For whatever reason. But let's keep in mind, though, okay? Let's keep in mind, why they're in the neighborhood. Yes, you could go back to, what's the word I'm looking for? Oh my God. Damn, I forgot the name of the damn word. I was gonna go back to from police officer, but anyway.
It happens. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. And I was thinking about KRS song. Oh my God. The sound of the police. Oh my God.
Hold on 1 second, Zal. You back on 7986.
Oh, okay, good. Appreciate it.
Yeah. But anyway, and let's keep in mind though, the reason why a police officer is inside your neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you might have patrol cars, or sometimes you might have them, standing on a corner of your block. You know what I mean? Because or sometimes you might see the damn police station or whatever, half a police station on your block. It's because there is criminal activity going on within your own community. And then let's be real. It doesn't act like we don't walk by. It doesn't act like we don't know who the drug dealers are. You know what I'm saying, within the neighborhood. So I asked this question plenty of times. You know what I'm saying? Would you call your local police, police department and tell them, who's selling drugs in your community? And
that brings up the whole snitching thing.
Yeah, snitching. No. Listen. I'm trying to clean up my community here, man. And then if I gotta get 4 in the morning, 6 in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning, to go to work, and provide, for me and my family, and I got somebody out here that's not doing nothing, not working, but he's actually, and his work is working the block, and working the block is actually destroying, my own community where I have to raise my children.
Wow, break it down.
And
So
the part about that is you got a lot of hard-working folks who defend some of the stupidity.
And neighbors.
And I don't understand that.
Neighbors,
like, let me just put it out there as far as snitching goes. And this is how I see snitching. If me and Giles, he comes over to the crib and we say, you know what, we about to go hit this store and rob their ass. One of us gets caught, tails on the other. That's snitching.
Right.
If I take Giles to the store, because he said, man, I want to go, Mr. Road to the store. I want to get a beer and some chips. I bet. He goes in there and robs the store. Doesn't tell me he robs the store. Didn't tell me before that he was going to rob the store, and gets back to my car like nothing happens. If I tell on him, people going to say I'm snitching. That's not snitching. You don't have a right to predetermine somebody's fate to that extent, in my book.
Or a nigga try to kill you, and then you can't do the fuck did it, and then you say you snitching. That's not snitching.
Yo, you know what's so crazy though? Yo, I was outside earlier working out. I had this competition with this dude. He's like 37 years old, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And he was saying to me, especially like the whole system part, whatever. People, and so you're in a situation. Let's say, some people become based on my circumstance or whatever, let's say, right. I could have probably just, robbed a car or whatever. You say, yo, you see me, I'll give you a ride. We get pulled over, whatever. The car's stolen. I got a gun and drugs and all that, whatever. And then, you end up being, being arrested and being, a part of this whole criminal activity, right? Now the police gonna say to you like, yo,
knowledge at all.
Exactly. So now they're saying, yo, you can either do 10 to 15, or you go take this piece of paper, write down what happened. You're gonna like, yo, I want my freedom. You know what I'm saying? If freedom, let me tell you something, man. Freedom is the most precious thing in your life. Freedom. That's one of the most precious things. You got a value in your life. You get to wake up, go to work. Do whatever you want in your life. Yeah. Your life may be stressed out, but you're free.
Why do we think that's okay?
At will.
I don't understand.
You know why?
Why we think that's okay?
No, I'm gonna tell you why. I keep going back to this. It's the mentality. It's the mentality that this ignorance perpetuates on a daily basis, from social media to outside activities. And from outside of activities to inside the households, inside schools, to inside the workplace. It is ongoing. And it's like, and I feel like, the more we elevate with technology and stuff like that, the more society itself, it becomes either demoralizing towards one another. We rather laugh at somebody getting tripped or jumped on or shared across the world. There's actually bigger somebody who actually, actually somebody who actually, graduates to go to college, at a young age, and we all see it all the time. I seen it through my own eyes. I see people, get good grades.
Or when the dude comes home from jail and the whole block turns up, but the dude that graduates from college, his mama and his immediate family are there.
Yo, you think you my master? Chris Rock got a joke about that too. You got your master. Yeah. You my master?
Yeah, but see, look at that. See, look, the mentality. You know what I'm saying? The low level mentality of like, okay, I'm going to be on this level of thought process and life.
But it switched. It never used to be like that. It used to be low income didn't mean low morals and low ethics.
Exactly.
It's like, Grandma used to tell you. Grandma used to say, listen, just because we got low I remember saying, hey, we don't do that stuff. That's white people shit. We don't do that. It's like, nah. It's like, we got low income, so we got to have high morals because we got the money.
Right.
I think.
Let me I wrote something else today. Your house looks like a pig pen's pig pen, but his brother's fault you can't keep a man. And, somebody thought that was offensive. And my point was, like, if you keep the nasties, like, that's got nothing to do with how much money you make, how, where you live at. You can live in the projects and have a clean house or a clean apartment. You don't have, living in the projects don't mean you have to be the projects.
No, but the thing is, though, people actually become a product of their own environment, and that will lead, and that leads to their own destruction. Whether it's behaving. We're
getting lazy with our environment. We're allowing our environment to dictate who we are, as opposed to us dictating our environment. You may not have the means to move to X, Y, and Z, and that's cool. I understand. I ain't rich. But that doesn't mean that I want garbage on my front lawn.
No. Hold on. Wait, hold on. You gotta. I don't know what other projects you said. You from Detroit and New York. There's this standard that you're supposed to smell piss in the projects. For some reason, somebody cleared up a couple of years ago. A couple of years. I don't know what happened. But like maybe 30 or 40, how many years ago? I don't know, because I'm gonna tell you what happened. I used to work for FedEx, right? And so I was delivering a package in Manhattan, and I'm going to the building, right? And I'm looking at the building. I'm like, yo, this building looks familiar, but it seems that something's different. The building was a project building. Like the same makeup as projects, right? Everything was the same. But I couldn't recognize it because it wasn't fucked up. It didn't smell like that. It took me, I couldn't figure it out. I'm like, I know this. I couldn't figure it out. I was like, yo, all right. The knob on the elevator. The knob on the elevator, the same type of brick. The intercom, everything's like identical. And I'm saying something is wrong. And that's messed up that I'm so accustomed to the project being like that when it's in the best order, I think it's wrong. I think it's wrong. And so it goes back to what my man was saying, our standards for stuff. I'm thinking like, nah, this ain't right. This building ain't supposed to be here. I'm thinking the building's not supposed to be here and be this nice. Not that damn. I got accustomed to some stuff I shouldn't be accustomed to.
You know what? The crazy part is, like, I have been to. Oh, and you know what, fellas? I just realized, man, we got like 2 minutes left. I agree with you though, man. I've been to some projects and literally was like, these ain't no projects. Cause for the same reason, it's sad, my expectation level of when you say I live in the projects, alarms up, the whole nine. Y'all know what I mean. I might not like my door.
I get you saying though, but the thing is though, I think a lot of us have a misconception of how, in general, black people is supposed to live and act and talk. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, y'all. I got to cut you off, bro, because we only got like a minute left. I got to cut you off, man. So sorry about that. But, man, appreciate y'all calling up, man. It definitely been, this 2 hours went extremely quick. So I want to say salute to everybody that tuned in, to everybody that called up. And I know I didn't get to every call, but, sometimes you ride the wave. And so salute to the kings that called up and joined me tonight. Don't forget to check out the groups, All Black Everything and My Skin Is My Sin. Oh, check out the fan page and the YouTube page, show us a little love. And MySkinIsMySin.com, man. We love y'all, man. It's been dope, man. Appreciate it. Y'all have a good one. And salute to you,
Peace, man.
Peace.